Okay, so you ever feel like you're in the middle of I don't know, an emotional earthquake?
Hmm.
You know, when your like totally adorable toddler suddenly turns into like a tiny little dictator of tears?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going deep, deep, deep into toddler tantrums today.
Oh,
We're looking at 5 tips for handling toddler tantrums.
okay.
And with us to like unpack all this is expert speaker.
I'm ready. Let's decode these meltdowns.
Have you ever seen a tantrum? I gotta ask, like
Yeah.
so epic, so over the top dramatic that it's almost kind of impressive.
Oh, absolutely. I think anyone who spent time around a toddler has seen those moments where it's like their whole world is just completely taken over by this one emotion.
Yeah,
It's like a little window into just how strongly they feel everything.
right. Like the smallest things to them are just huge.
Yes.
Speaking of big feelings, this article jumps right into these like practical tips.
Okay.
And the very first one is stay calm,
Right.
which seems kind of obvious,
Yeah.
but in the moment,
Easier said than done. Yeah.
way easier said than done.
Yeah, it really is. But it's so important because of this thing called co-regulation. So basically when a little one, when a toddler's having a tantrum, their nervous system it's like going a mile a minute.
Okay.
It's like completely flooded with stress hormones, cortisol. But and here's the wild part. When we as adults stay calm,
Yeah.
it can actually help them regulate their own emotions.
Wait, so my like me being chill can actually like rub off on them.
Yeah, it's like you're modeling emotional regulation.
Yeah.
You're sending these signals to their nervous system that everything's okay, we can handle this. And it's like we're kind of like subconsciously releasing these feel-good hormones, these oxytocin, which helps them calm down.
Wow. I didn't ever even like thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so next tip. Acknowledge their feelings.
Yeah.
Again, sounds simple enough,
Right.
but why is that so important when honestly like the meltdown is over something that to us seems totally insignificant?
Because even though the thing that sets them off might seem small to us, like they want to wear, I don't know, 2 different socks.
Right. Yeah.
To them, that's huge.
Totally.
So when we say like, hey, I get it, you really want to wear those socks, we're validating their experience. Now, we're not saying, okay, yeah, go ahead, wear the mismatched socks to school. But we are saying, I see you, I hear you, your feelings are real.
So it's validation, not giving in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's subtle, but it's so powerful.
Yeah. Okay, this next one I like. Distraction and redirection.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds almost too easy, but I imagine it's all in the timing and how you do it. Like how do you make this work?
Well, it's not about like tricking them. It's
Okay.
about understanding that their attention spans are, they're toddlers.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. And so this article talks about, you can offer them something else that's really appealing and interesting, or even just change the environment. Like if they're melting down inside, maybe you step outside for a minute, just break up that energy. Right.
Give them a chance to reset.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so this is the part where I kind of get tripped up because the article says to both maintain consistency and to give them space if needed,
Yeah.
which seem like complete opposites. So how do you balance those two?
That's such a good question. And it gets at like the real like dance that this is between like setting boundaries but also letting kids be their own people, you know?
Yeah, like
So consistency is all about having routines, having limits,
yeah,
and that predictability, it helps them feel safe, especially when they're having a tough time.
hmm.
But sometimes kids just need a little time,
Yeah,
to sort through those big feelings on their own
okay.
before they can kind of come back and be with everybody else. Yeah. So it's not about caving. It's just like giving them a minute to, I don't know, to like hit the reset button.
Exactly. You're giving them a safe space to decompress. Maybe it's a quiet corner with a favorite stuffed animal. Maybe it's a few minutes alone in their room. It's not about punishment.
Right.
It's about giving them the tools to handle those emotions.
Okay, that makes total sense. Before we wrap up, I
Yeah.
do just want to say to everyone listening, these are tips. These are general.
Right.
What works for one toddler may not work for another.
Every kid's different. Yeah.
Always, always, always a good idea to talk to your pediatrician, a child development expert, if you have any questions at all.
Absolutely.
Expert speaker, thank you so much for walking us through all this.
Yeah, of course. This is fascinating stuff.
It is. It is. And for everyone listening, here's something to think about. I mean, these strategies, they're all about understanding emotions, responding to them, whether it's a toddler or honestly, like another adult.
Hmm.
So, something to think about. How do you handle your big feelings? Until next time, happy deep diving.